This is a vertical multi-socket plug. Alright, coming in from BOJECHER. BOJECHER? BOJECHER. We'll go with BOJECHER. B-O-J-E-C-H-E-R. Is this vertical multi-socket power thing that has functions and things. It's the kind of thing that you probably would like to have in your life, in the corner of a room, powering all your gizmos and this and that. So I thought I'd take a look at it because they asked me to. They've sent me this free of charge for me to have a wee look at to see what it's like. It brags on the side, it's got overload protector, isolate strong current efficiently. So it has surge protection built in, ceramic SPD, which is to cut off high voltage fastly, okay. High conductive copper, phosphor copper high electricity conductivity, and fire retardant material, flame retardant and high temperature resistant, eliminate hidden trouble. Okay, so made out of plastic. Built-in protections, protect household appliance at any moment. Okay, alright. There's some of the technical details that you may need. You may need to see close up, and there's some instructions on how to use them as well. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. I kind of need one of these for, well, it's always useful for Christmas gifts and things like that. And getting things up and running. Oh, it's blue. I thought it was black from the box. The Amazon listing has it in blue, and I had hoped that they'd ship me something a little less bluish, but maybe it's just the one color. We have product instructions inside the box as well, and very simply this. that kind of looks like a nuke. Anyone who's into Fallout or just into general sort of nuclear war would probably appreciate this because it does look like a nuke. Okay, so we have a very long cable, which I think I'm going to have to measure myself because the product description says that the cable is 1.6.5 feet long. Then later on it says it's 2 meters long. My assessment is that it's 3 meters long, so it's not quite any of those, but this one is 3 meters. Perhaps there's different options on Amazon. I didn't go looking. The plastic feels okay, feels fairly cheap, given that this costs $19.99, and I have seen these go for quite expensive leg numbers. It's not too bad given the amount of ports that you get on it. There's a 10% discount at the moment on Amazon if you were to pick one of them up, but for $19.99, that's not too bad. As you can see here, the plug goes in that way, so the cable will come out here, and the plug will go in that way, and the cable will come out here. So that's a bit of I think I'd prefer them if they were all going the other way around. If these were 180 degrees, so they all faced the same direction, and that, yeah, the wires seem to hit each other. But perhaps there's a reason for that. But I'm not thinking of straight away. But yeah, we have 8 plugs, 8 plug sockets, which is quite a lot, really, and then 4 USB 2s as opposed to super fast. It does not beef up these USBs, so they must just be a sort of a standard charge. Perhaps the technical specifications might say. So there we have the voltages. Just there you can see it's 110 input voltage, 110 to 250 volts, max output 2500 watts, 10 amps. USB output 5 volts, 3.1 amps. Is that combined? I don't know. Frequency 50 to 60 hertz. Then of course we actually have some rubber feet down there, and I'm guessing this is some kind of stop button. Because once you start putting loads and loads of plugs in this, it's probably going to start being pulled over and things like that. So and also depending on the flex, I have had these before where they become quite unstable because there's a lot of weight in them with all the plugs. And we have buttons on the top that must turn off this side and then turn off this side. Okay, so we'll get her plugged in, which is probably a good thing to look at. Would be right about now. We have a plug with a little plastic cover on it, and it's a formed plug. It's not that easy to chop off and replace with another plug. It is of course a UK plug because we're in the UK. Fused, U-bill, seems fine. The flex seems very standard or typical of this kind of thing. Only remains to be seen if it's going to burn out. I don't know. There's a fuse in there, which I like to think is probably a 10 amp fuse. So we plug her in, press the button, and we get a little red light. Now we're going to take a standard phone and a standard USB cable. We'll plug that in there. We'll plug this in here. So it's saying 27 minutes to full, so it's not fast charging. It's just charging at a fairly normal rate that you would expect, which is fine. You can plug things in over the night and not worry about it burning out your battery if you have those sorts of concerns. Then you press that and it hopefully turns this off. No, it doesn't turn this off. Well, actually, we'll plug that in like so. It looks like the red light dimmed there a bit. So this is, my phone is currently charging. We press that and it stops charging. So pushing it down, so it's recessed, I suppose, is the way that you turn it off. Oh no, that's it on. Right. Okay, so it's currently charging. No, it's not. Right. Okay. Still a very handy thing to have. I do like that idea. And that given that there's two, you can zone it so that you're turning off some. But maybe one's for the USBs and one's not. I could look at the instruction manual, but why would it do that? Alright, so I've plugged this in and you'll never guess what this is connected to. Yes, I plugged my studio light into it. We'll unplug my phone because that's starting to get a bit tired and annoying. So these plugs are connected to this. So if I turn that off, take that out and put it into there, that's what happens there. Turn it around that way, that's what happens there. Yeah. I do think it's not one that I would hot swap too many plugs into. That was a bit tricky to get it in. It felt a wee bit flexible. So we'll go around this. There's the divider line. We'll go around this side. Right. And then that side. Right. And then do this one. Yes. So my suspicion was correct. This button does the entire of this side, including the USBs, and this button does the entire of this side, which is 4 plugs. It is a nice feature. I do quite like that. They could have just had one button for the whole unit. Instead, you can turn it off by sides. That's neat. Quite a neat idea. Putting the plug in and out, I did feel that the plastic is a wee bit flimsy. It was bending quite a bit, and getting the actual plug in, there was a number of times where I pushed it in and it wasn't the whole way in, which is not something that you really want to do. You want it to be flush with the side, but who am I to tell you that? You know that, don't you? And then this button doesn't really seem to do much, unless perhaps that's the surge protector, where if there is a surge this kicks into gear. That's probably likely, yeah. So yeah, initially I'm quite impressed by the design. I like it for the fact that it looks like a nuke. I want to paint it green and write "I like Ike" up the side or something like that. And then, you know, having the USBs makes this actually kind of good for maybe a kid's room. I will use it up here for a little while first to make sure that it doesn't burst into flames initially. But my son has a couple of plugs and a few USB charge things. You can Nintendo Switch and tablet. That's it. And then a plug for his bedside lamp, plug for his alarm clock. That's it. So yeah, it's overkill for him, but at least you can plug in the bedside lamp and then those on this side and keep them on and clicked off. And then if he's charging his tablet and stuff like that, whenever we go to bed and we're checking that he's all right, we can hit one side of this and turn off his things that are charging. Ah, yeah, that's a fun idea. Fun? Maybe not fun, but that's an idea. All right. Well, let me know if you have any questions or if you've bought one of these and what you think of it. It's on Amazon. There's links down in the description box below as to where you can get them for, well, $19.99 plus an extra 10% off, which is kind of nice. I do quite like it. I think for 20 quid, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I think I'll take a gamble and plug it in and see how we go. Charge a few things off it. It's not exactly office quality colouring and things. If it was black and white, it would be far better. Maybe the manufacturer could start doing these in different colours if this becomes a bit of a hit. But other than that, give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy. Hit that subscribe button and turn on their notifications. And take care.